So now one of the things that's really important in understanding how it is that we get to sleep is understanding what's going on in the daytime as well. What are some of the things that influence our sleep drive? And that is our day process. And in our day process, we have our body that has an influence, as well as our environment that has an influence. And together, they affect our sleep drive. So looking at it from a different perspective, again, our body as well as our environment, they work together to help affect our sleep drive. And let's take a look at the body process first. The body process is also called the homeostatic process. The name isn't important, the concepts are. Now in this concept, everything that uses energy gives us a waste product. And that's not true just to our body, that's true throughout everything. So you put gasoline in the car and it gives you the energy for the car to move, but the waste product is smoke, fuels, and emissions. Well, the same is true in our body as well. And our brain utilizes energy. It actually utilizes glucose, which is a sugar that helps give our brain some energy. The waste product is adenosine. The name is not important. The concept is that as the day goes by, you continue to accumulate this waste product, and it makes you feel fatigued, yawn, sleepy, tired. And that's why it's hard to stay up past a certain time. Now, an interesting tidbit is that fatigue, that adenosine that causes our fatigue, is actually washed away in that first part of the night with our deep, slow wave sleep. Another interesting tidbit is that caffeine actually inhibits the accumulation of that adenosine, of that waste product that makes us fatigued. And that's one of the ways that it works. So now we've talked about the body process. Now we're going to talk about what's going on in our environment. Our own body actually makes melatonin. But all day long, light is coming into our eyes, and it's inhibiting our own body's natural melatonin. As the day goes by, we have less and less light, and then night comes. There's no more light to suppress the melatonin, and you get this release of melatonin, and that's our sleep hormone that makes us sleepy. So now what we have is this process where our fatigue from our own body builds up during the day at the same time that we stop being able to inhibit our own natural melatonin, and then bam, the two of them together is what causes our sleep drive. Now, one of the problems that occurs many times is when our sleep-wake system or our circadian rhythm is disrupted. Right? For example, when we wake up early, our own body's sense of fatigue, we start to feel that earlier than our environment tells us that it's time to go to sleep, and we may be fatigued or tired or sleepy during the daytime. And then the opposite can happen if we're sleeping in late. As the day goes by, our environment, the sun goes down, and it tells us that, okay, it should be time to go to bed, but we haven't built that fatigue yet. And what ends up happening is that we may develop insomnia or have a difficulty getting to sleep. Now, one thing that's really important to know is that if an adult can't sleep, they're going to yawn. If a child can't sleep, they're going to tantrum. And we've all heard this. You're at the mall or someplace and you hear, "I don't wanna," in the middle of the mall, and you're like, okay, that kid needs a nap. So that's an important concept to understand as well. Now, sometimes this can be happening on a chronic or a weekly basis. And just think about one thing for a moment. How long does it normally take you to adjust to daylight savings? And I have people tell me a couple days. And what I like to say is that when you travel time zones, in general, for every time zone that you travel, it takes about a day to adjust. So if you go to California, that's about a 3-hour time zone from New York or from Florida. It should take about 3 days to adjust. Well, what is a teenager or ourselves doing every weekend when we're staying up 3 or 4 hours later, or sleeping in 3 or 4 or 5 hours later? We're changing our time zone beyond California time zones, and it's going to take a couple days to adjust. By the time we fully adjust, guess what? We're doing it over again. So one of the best ways, and this is a non-medication approach, to be able to get sleep on a regular basis, on a regular time, is to actually wake up. We have to start with the wake up time for it to be on a regular time schedule as well.